Hey everybody, it's time for another OC Warrior Tech Tip of the Week. And this week we're going to be looking at some resources that are embedded within our SLDS platform. Now we know SLDS is chock full of a ton of data that we can use to look at our students' growth, look at their history, see where they're at, and in line with a lot of the assessments that we give with their attendance and a lot of great things like that. But one of the things that we often don't talk about are some of the resources that it gives us to use in our classrooms and helping us connect with our students and where they want to go. So today we're going to focus primarily on this Lexile and Quantile Hub button that you see here embedded within SLDS. And if I click on that, it's going to take me to a DOE website here where it's going to give me a lot of tools that we can use no matter what our content area is, no matter what we're teaching. It's going to give us a great way to help us assess our students to get an idea of where they're at, where they're headed, and how we can help them get there. So we're going to start out focusing on the Lexile tools. And they've got some great tips for us here. They've got a grade level chart that we can click on. We can narrow this down by grade right here that we want to. And then also we can compare where our students should be at the beginning of the year as well as where they're going to end up in the spring and where we want them to end up at. So this is kind of just a great tool for you to use, a jumping off point, just to have an idea of where hopefully students are or where they are working to. Now, a couple of the other tools, though, that they have right here for us, and we're going to focus primarily on some of these on the left-hand side, the ability to find a book, to analyze some text. That's going to be something that's big for us as educators. And then also a Lexile career database. Those are going to be the primarily three from a Lexile perspective. And then we'll look at the Quantile stuff as well. A lot of similar tools over here on the mathematics side. But coming up here to the Lexile, all right, so if I want to find a book, if we're going to the Media Center, I'm trying to help my students find something that they want to read that they're going to find interesting for them. Okay, we can come over here. We can do a quick search if we know there's a particular book or an author that we want to look for. But we're going to go over here to search by grade. So let's say I've got a 10th grader in class. He's been doing some assigned reading. And we want that student to be able to judge, is that reading easy? Is it just right? Or is it too difficult? And from there, this program is going to start making suggestions for books that this student can read. So if we think that is a little bit on the easy side, it'll come over here and give us a Lexile range that's going to be a little bit tougher, a little bit more rigorous reading for that particular student. And then we can also, within that realm, search by particular interest. So if a student is interested in, let's say, mystery and suspense books, and I want a fiction type book, I can hit these two filters, and then it'll also give me different subcategories within that. So let's say, hey, I want a thriller book as well. All right, so I've got a mystery suspense, it's a fiction book, all right, as well as a thriller, okay? Then I can come down here, I can hit search, and this is going to populate different books that kind of fall within that genre. So I'm going to have my Lexile range that it falls to, okay? It falls within that particular subcategory that we talked about, and it's going to give me my Lexile range as well as a brief overview of what each of these books is about. They can then take this information, decide on a couple books that they might be interested in, come to the Media Center, see if there's something there for them that kind of falls within this line, or maybe we have that exact book, or they can go home and find a copy of the book for themselves, okay? So that's just a great little tool to be able to find a book, find the reading. And like I said, this is going to give them the ability, if it's just right, I can do that. It'll give me the Lexile range that they should be in, or if it's too difficult, it'll take it down a Lexile range for that particular student and find something that's a little bit more in their wheelhouse. And then I can go by interest, fiction or nonfiction, different genres, and then different subcategories. So that's just a quick look at helping find a book that's going to be right in the wheelhouse of our students. Now, let's say that I've got a text and I'm in science, social studies, math. All right, I'm in fine arts, I'm in anything, and I'm having my students read and kind of analyze, and maybe they're having a hard time. So if I want to take a look at what that text is, where it falls for them, I'm going to go to the text analyzer. And in this spot, I can copy and paste up to 500 words from a particular passage, and it will analyze that passage for me and give me a data spit out of where exactly that this text is falling in the Lexile range and where they might be having a hard time with. So let's say that I'm reading The Great Gatsby by chance. I found a PDF copy online. I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to find a paragraph that I want to analyze. So I'm going to copy and paste this right into this analyzer. So let's copy that. Come back over, I'm going to paste. Now I get 50 of these per month. You can see I've already done a couple over here on the right hand side. But you get 50 analyzations per month. All right, it'll go through, it'll read it, it'll give me the Lexile range. So we see this is kind of on the upper end for our students, 1410 to 1600. All right, it's going to give me an overview of that sentence, and it's going to spit out some recommended books that fall along this same Lexile range if our students are wanting to find something else that they can connect to. It's also going to give me the indicators, why it came up to that particular range. Going to show me from an easier to harder scale, the sentence length, all right, the word frequency, all right, all that great information. It's going to give me a reason why it gave it that particular rating. And then it'll pick out any kind of key vocab that might be in there and give me a breakdown of that as well. So if you've got students that are kind of having a hard time with some particular passages, all right, or you're just trying to figure out, is this particular passage that you might put on a test or you might put on an assessment, is this kind of in the wheelhouse of my students? This text analyzer is going to give you a great idea of where it falls. And also will archive all the different searches that you've done prior to that and let you go back and take a look and give you all the information that you sought out the first time. All right, so we've done Find a Book. We've done Text Analyzer, and now we're going to look for Lexile Career Base. So let's say you're in a CTE class, you're trying to help guide your students through their pathway, or you're doing something where you're trying to help your students kind of gain interest in something and kind of motivate them to pick up the pace maybe just a little bit. We can go to the career database, and this is going to allow students to go through and pick a particular field that they might be interested in. So if I'm interested in working in information technology, it's then going to give me a career breakdown or career options within that particular field. So let's say that I want to be a health informatics specialist. I'm going to be able to search by this, and it's going to give me a job summary. It's going to tell me what Lexile range people that fall with it or that go after these jobs typically fall into. It's going to tell me the education that I need, the education level required. All right. And then it's going to give me a breakdown as far as median pay, what's the projected career growth, and what are the projected career openings. So this might give students just a great idea of, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how available these jobs are. And then I can even break it down specifically by state. So if I go to Georgia, I can look at the median pay, the projected career growth, and the career openings within the state itself. And that's going to give kids a great opportunity to kind of understand what is out there for them, what kind of path do they need to take, and what level do they need to work on their reading for to be able to accommodate the needs of that job. So that's kind of a lot of the Lexile tools that are available to you. And there's a couple others, and we can dive into those later. But if we come down to the Quantile tools, so this is going to fall more to the math department. Okay, we've got a lot of great resources, Quantile level grade charts, okay, much like that Lexile level that we were talking about. So you can go by grade, all right, all the way down from 10th, all the way to 10th, 11th, 12th grade, the end of the year, the beginning of the year, those breakdowns just like we had with our Lexile levels, all right. We can also go down to the Quantile Career Database, okay, which is going to be pretty similar to what we just looked at with the Lexile levels that allow me to select a career field as well as a particular career. Going to allow me to search, and it's going to give me the breakdown just like it did for the Lexiles, but this time in Quantile. So what kind of math am I going to need to know, and what kind of education path am I going to have to follow in order to be a part of that? Okay. A lot of other great tools here. Math Skills Database. This is going to be something where you can break it down by standard. So if I choose the state, so let's go to Georgia. I go to the particular course. So let's say Algebra 2. And then this is going to break it down by standard. All right. And it's going to allow me to be able to pick a standard, pick a goal, okay, and then search for resources by that particular goal. So give me the state goal, give me the ID, give me the description. We'll click on it. All right, it'll give me a further breakdown of what that means, kind of give me some knowledge clusters, and then it'll also provide me resources right here. So we've got some videos, we've got some illustrative mathematics. Click on that, and it's going to provide a website here that's got some different tools that you can use. They provide worksheets as well. All right, so there's a lot of information here that's already built out for you within this website, standard by standard. So that's your hub right here for Lexile and Quantile tools. If you have any